It's decent enough, sure, but it's not really meant to be viewed as a standalone experience. Instead, it's supposed to fill in a few of the gaps in the Dead Space storyline. Animation-wise, it's nothing we haven't seen before, neither the direction nor really the plot bring any sort of innovation. On the other hand, when it comes to the blood and gore, holy shit. This is one piece of Western animation that can hold its own next to most anime that tend to exaggerate a bit on the blood gushing quota. So here's your crash course into Dead Space lore. Humanity is capable of interstellar travel and it mines other worlds by destroying them with huge ass ships called planet crackers. I know, original title. It appears that life on Earth is nothing but a fluke and every planet they've ever found was dead. So instead of mining them ye olde way, they basically break the entire planets apart since there's nothing worth saving or studying until they get to planet EG7 in the Cygnus system. This is where they find an artifact of supposed alien origins and decide to move it to Earth since, and here is where the story goes a bit for a real world feel, which I kinda like. It appears that the overwhelming number of people in the future adhere to a belief system represented by the Unitology Church. They tend to have some interesting beliefs in terms of space artifacts, which they call markers. This organization resembles a quasi-religious movement in the real world. Even though they don't mention Lord Xenu anywhere, the similarities are pretty much there. But in order to get more information on both the Unitologist Church and also the glaring plot holes in Downfall, you kinda need to play through the first Dead Space game, or at least read the story on the interwebs. So anyway, this is the story prequel to a survival horror game, so you can pretty much guess what happens. Once the artifact is moved, the people start going crazy and start killing pretty much everyone and or themselves. The dead then get reanimated and become alien killing machines. I know that for those of you familiar with the Dead Space franchise, I'm only stating the obvious, but this is just so that the uninitiated understand. The mining colony on EG7 is dead in no time, and the planet cracker Ishimaru is next on the list, but we kind of know that already, even if you haven't played the game, because that's how the movie starts. You know everything and everyone is doomed from the get-go. So the movie follows the exploits of the doomed ship's doomed chief of security and her doomed team as they try to save as many people as possible. Yeah, so the movie is an exercise in futility, like many prequels tend to be, but it isn't without its merits. As far as the animated medium goes, I need to stress that this is in no way, shape or form a movie for children. I don't think most adults could stomach it either. The blood and gore level is up there with the best of them. A valid comparison would be Ichi the Killer, even though that one is live action. Besides the graphic death, there is also quite a bit of graphic language, but to be honest, I don't know what's more damaging to a young mind. A couple of 4-letter words here or there, or seeing the jawbone of a man being removed by the scythe-like bony appendages of a reanimated alien corpse. All I'm saying is, it might not be everyone's particular brand of vodka. In conclusion, if you've already played through the games, then you might want to check this out. Even though you can pretty much surmise what happened on the planet in the first game, it's still nice to see. If on the other hand you go first for the movie and like it despite the sometimes crappy voice acting and really suspended ending, get yourself the first game and play through it. It is a pretty decent gaming experience, but it excels in terms of atmosphere. Oh yeah, and I suggest you play it with the lights on, even in daylight. Thanks for watching. In case you enjoyed my review, don't forget to like and share it with like-minded individuals. In case you want to check out the rest of my geeky stuff, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm Stefan Eremia, and I'll see you soon. And the planet cracker Ishimaru is next on the list. On the list. What the fuck was that? No. Blood. Hey. No, not least. Is close on that list.